Great rise, great rise, great rise. Beloved, you know who it is. You know what it is. It's your girl, Queen Goddess, King Advocate. It is Melanated Monday. Give you all a minute to get in here and get settled. So hopefully we can have some conversation about what's going on in your households during this quarantine time. All right, so come on in and get yourself ready. Let's have some conversation. I will give you a moment to get thee prepared to have some grown folks conversation. We probably will not, well, I say that every time I get on here, that we probably or may not be here the full hour. I am going to also open this up for Q&A, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Great rise. So what's going on, Aki? Thank you, beloved, for being here. I do appreciate you. Got some other folks that are here, but let me see your face. Let me see who's here. Show up. Say something so I can say something back. Talk to me and give some people time to get in here. I think I started maybe a little bit early. Right on time. Who's there? Like, I see you. Who is that? Is that Kurt Cummings? Is that King Kurt? No, it's Tyrone. What's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who else we got that just showed up in here? Show your face. Show your face. Show your face. Robert Hill, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. Again, tonight we are starting what I call part one of Quarantine Chronicles. We're gonna have some relationship discussion this evening, and it is most important because some things are happening. I'm seeing some things, feeling some things, hearing some things, and we're gonna talk about these things. Okay, you see how you all are holding up with your relationships during this time. And then I'm going to share a little gift with you. Hello, Eddie. How are you doing, beloved? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm going to share a little gift with you. Hopefully that'll give you a little bit of insight. Like I said, this is just part one. So we're going to do this for as long as it takes. Hopefully it won't take too long, but we're going to do it for at least a couple of weeks and just touch on different aspects of the relationship. So again, I'm going to give people time to get on in here. If you want to share, feel free to share. If you want to take notes, take notes. If you take mental note, do that. Whatever, you can always replay this video. Okay, so I want to start. There's not a whole lot of you here just yet, and I know what's going to happen. As soon as I get into the meat of things, everybody named Mama going to show up. So if you all just bear with me, just give me a little bit more time, maybe another minute or two at the most, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So in the meantime, let me remind you, if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, please, please do that. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. It is the icon, the queen with the sword is the one you want to click on. There are two, but they're both mine, but only that one is active. So please subscribe to YouTube, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, Queen with the sword. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. I need 1,000 subscribers. Okay, I'm not even close at this moment. Just started. So please, by all means, go over there and subscribe. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, Queen with sword icon. Okay, do that for me. And Brad is back. Make sure, and I'm gonna be representing this tonight. If you have not already gotten your copy, you have nothing else to do but read and be informed. Get your copy. The Business of Marriage. Fuck your feelings. The truth about every relationship. What's going on, Eugene? Thank you for being here, loved one. I appreciate you. I will do that. I definitely will do that. It was on my Facebook page, so you'll see the link to YouTube as well. But I will do that for sure. This book right here, you get that. It's $20. If I mail it to you, it's $22. It's not a whole lot of money, but it's a lot of information, and it's bound to save relationships. And I know it for a fact because people who have actually bought it and read it, which is key to knowing to read it, have come back and said that it has definitely made a change in them and saved their relationships or given them enough strength to get out of a toxic one. So make sure you get your copy. It's available through me directly via Cash App or Venmo. Cash App is $1 healer, or you can Venmo at Kimberly McCants, McCants -1. And you can also get your copy, if you prefer e-version, on Amazon Kindle. Okay, either way, get it. All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So again, this evening, what's up, G Walker? Thank you, loved one, for being here. I appreciate you always. I'm probably gonna open up the phone lines as well. I'm surprised there ain't no women on here yet. Nonetheless, yeah. So like I said, this is part one of what I call the Quarantine Chronicles, and we're gonna be dealing with the relationship and what encouraged the thought. I'll say that, but encouraged the thought is I'm paying attention to a lot of the posts that people are putting up on Facebook as it pertains to their children, or being stuck at home with a significant other, and how it's having a negative effect on the relationship. Also, there is reportedly, statistically, an increase in divorce filings during this time. The divorce rate is going up. Sad and ridiculous. Nonetheless, that is what has sparked this conversation. Like I always tell you, when I come to you with information, I come to you with a topic, it is a divine download. It's something that needs to be discussed. What's going on, Melissa Holbrook? Thank you, baby. Appreciate you for being here. You are the first woman. Yeah. So I appreciate you. Please stick around. Again, we are talking about relationships. This is the first part of the Quarantine Chronicles, and we are dealing with relationships, particularly now. So, as I stated, people who are stuck in the house with their significant others are experiencing some things that they had not experienced prior to being forced, if you will, to be in their faces all damn day. All right. And like I said, I'm going to give you a little bit of a gift, which is a brief read, if I will, from my book, The Business of Marriage. Like your feelings, the truth about every relationship. That's right. Listen, and please listen. Gee, walking you a trip. But nonetheless, the first chapter is entitled, I Am a Liar. You'll see why this is important, why the relationships are having some issues right about now. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole chapter. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to read a few things to you. And very few, because I want you to buy the book. So I'm just going to define it. I'm going to read it as I defined it, okay, what a liar is. A liar is one who speaks, thinks, or tries to coerce thought, or behaves in a manner that is contrary to what is the present form of being. A liar is one who practices by learned behavior and observation, deception, falsity, contradiction, misrepresentation, or anything that is untrue, with the intent to be seen, accepted as, or otherwise believed to be factual. I'm going to hold on for a minute. Before I go any further, I want you to keep that in your mind, okay? Reason I brought that up, and when I have conversations with people, when I'm doing my relationship counseling, I always talk about the representative. Miss Laura, what's going on, beloved? Thank you for being here. Long time no see. You hope all is well. I always talk about the representative, how people get into relationships and not know who they're in a relationship with. And the situations come up when they say he or she all of a sudden started doing whatever the act is, or what they stopped doing whatever the act is. And that's not usually the case. The case is that most people get into relationships before they have established a true relationship with self, before they have acknowledged the truth about who they really are. That means accepting or acknowledging the weaknesses, the strengths, the pros, the cons, the goods, the bads, the uglies, the lies, all of that. All those things that you say that you are, that you claim to be, that you know deep down that you are not those things, at least not yet. You're not that. Or things that you say that you do and you really don't. Some of you all are what they call video or social media warriors and all this kind of stuff, but behind closed doors you're not that at all, or you have a portrayal around other people, but behind closed doors you're not that at all. This is the representative. The representative is in all of us. The problem is we don't acknowledge it. We don't know that this entity exists because it's always been there. It's always been a part of you. It's always taken control of who you claim to be. It has always misrepresented the true spirit being called you. Okay? So it'll walk around in your body, it'll walk around and speak out of your mind, it'll speak out of your mouth, it'll wear your clothes, it'll go in your bank account, it'll do all this shit, okay? And claim to be you. But it is not. It is a misrepresentative. It is something, it is an entity, it is a spirit being that is basically a fallback for an individual to accept as real, to prevent them from really looking at self and correcting the errors, from actually being a perfect being. Miss Carla, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So the representative is your false being. But like I said, most people walk around in that false being, not recognizing that it even exists, which is why it is allowed to carry on and duplicate and stick around for a while. It is why it is able to get into relationships and stay for a minute, and then the relationship falls apart because now the real people have got to deal with one another. So it's important right out the gate to acknowledge the liar itself. Have I had to do that? Absolutely. I would not be here telling you if I didn't. I would not have written the book had I not gone through the process. I still go through it. Every now and then I catch it. I catch that liar. I gotta get it. But nonetheless, once you have acknowledged everything about yourself, whether you like it or not, once you have acknowledged it, you begin to take your real true power back. You begin to expose the representative that's claiming to be you. You expose the spirit that is preventing you from being your true spirit being. You did. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so it's important to acknowledge that you are a liar. If you open your mouth and breathe, you are a liar. If you speak, you are a liar. What's going on, Brianna? Thank you for being here, beloved. I appreciate you. If you can have conversation with people, you are a liar. You're an adult, you're a liar. Just acknowledge that. It is not to say, it is not putting a negative connotation on people. It's just an acceptance of a fact. Okay, we're conditioned, we're bred, we're even born into it. We're born with it. 99% of our thoughts are not even our own thoughts, maybe not that high. But in us, we've received them, we've processed them as truth and as ours. Our representative has said, this is it, and we went on with that. So just acknowledge it, okay? But you have the ability to fix it. So in a relationship, this is why a lot of them fail. Well, this is why most of them fail. People will show you or tell you what they want you to know about them from the hello. There's always some type of agenda from the hello. People introduce themselves with an intent, whatever it is. There's always an intent upon the introduction. There's something that they're looking for in the introduction. Some people lie about it. Most people lie about it. I told you all the story before. I will say it one more time, and I hope not to have to ever repeat it, but it'll probably happen. So there was a particular gentleman that I saw on a regular basis on Sunday, skating. We do our thing. Y'all know me. I speak to everybody. I'm a hugger. Everybody. I don't play favorites, whatever. So I saw this individual on a regular basis, and it was always, hey, how you doing? You roll by, peace out, whatever. No conversation for real, just that. So one particular day, he decided he wanted to skate with me. I got no problem with that, but he just rolled up on me and started skating. Cool. He then says to me, we need to hang out. We need to hang out. So I'm trying to understand why I need to hang out with this gentleman, because I've been okay, not. But according to him, we need to hang out. So I asked him, well, why do we need to hang out? And he says, well, I think we would have fun. That's not a need for me. However, I'm listening. I said, well, I still need you to be a little bit more in depth with me why we need to hang out. So he says, well, do you want me to be honest with you, or do you want me to tell you a lie? So at that point, I already knew. I knew anyway from the initial hello what it was. But when he said that, there was no doubt in my mind what the intent of the hello was. So he made it clear. I won't go into all of the details of the wording, but it wasn't for us to read a book. It wasn't for us to develop a business relationship. It wasn't for any of that. Okay? Y'all know what I'm saying too. Use it, okay? Use your imagination. It is exactly that. And it came with force. So it wasn't even like a pleasantry. It wasn't even, I'm interested in doing this a certain kind of way that might be pleasing to you. It was pretty brutal. So nonetheless, I laughed. I laughed pretty hysterically, as a matter of fact. And it wasn't that I found it funny what he was saying, because he looked at me like, what you laughing at? Like, I'm dead ass serious. I knew he was. But it was funny because he actually said it out of his mouth what his intent was. Joshua, what's going on, loved one? I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He said out of his mouth what his intent was from his hello. And all I could say was, bruh, I appreciate you. I thank you for being honest. Most people will not tell you what they want from the beginning. They will not tell you or show you who they are from the beginning. There's always that mask. Like I said, the representative gets to talking first. But he told me right out the gate what he was interested in, what he wanted. After I laughed, I said, no, and hell no. That's a matter. And hell no. And we rolled out. There was nothing else. Girl, didn't it? Okay, in the worst kind of way. But nonetheless, I respected that brother because he was honest with it. There was no representative right there. He was being real with it. So that gave me an opportunity to make a decision based on full disclosure, which is what most people do not do. Bring me back to the beginning. What most people do not do in the relationships, in the beginning even, in the relationships, they do not speak their full intent. They do not speak or show who they truly are. They're hiding who they are because the thought in their mind will be, well, if I show this individual who I really am, they're not going to accept me. So you're already entering into a relationship deceptively. You're already entering into a relationship lying. You're already entering into a relationship not being yourself, not being the truth is. You're being untrue. You have an intent of keeping up the fallacies and causing people to relate to and conform to and love something that doesn't even exist. This is why the relationship has already been doomed. It started that way. G-Walk says, first, know yourself. Learn everything you can about your potential mate with whom you are to be involved with. and then learn to be together under various circumstances, and then learn to be interdependent from one another. In other words, give each other some me time if needed in the household, and then you'll be all right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. But again, like I said, most people do not take the time out to learn themselves and be okay with themselves, to better themselves, because they are more focused on how the other person feels. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Must I remind you? Must I? What did I say? What did I say? Fuck your feeling. Okay? Do that. Please and thank you. You have to be completely 100 with yourself in order for your relationships to be 100. Okay, that's not each person giving 50-50. That's each person giving 100. You got two people, there needs to be 200% going on. But if you go into the relationship starting off lying to yourself, your relationship is already a lie because neither of you knows each other. So what has happened is the two representatives have met. The two representatives have gotten something in common because they're both fake as hell. Okay, the two representatives get along. They do whatever they do. They find the commonalities. They're easy to be intimate with. They can develop certain whatevers with each other because they're both fake. Neither of them are real. They share that commonality. Okay, there are no expectations with the representative because they're not real. So what happens is when these two representatives get together and decide to become or create a union, and now they're either boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, whatever the relationship is, they're together, they're under the same household, under the same roof or whatever. Times like these now brings out the real individual. There's no room for the representatives. They're clashing now. They're clashing. So now both representatives, perhaps it may be one at a time, usually that's how it happens, one at a time, shows up and says, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm through. I'm tired. Okay? I'm tired. I'm going to show my whole true entire ass. This is who I am. And it starts to point out certain things that the other being who's still in the representative does or does not do. There's a clash. Okay, so while this is going on, eventually the being who is still in the representative comes out too, because now they feel like they're being attacked. So now you have two representatives who have now been dismissed. Now, guess who's coming to dinner? The real people are now coming together. The real people are forced to be face to face in confinement, in the quarantine, in the relationship, in the marriage. The real people. Okay? This is when you learn you didn't like this so and so from jump. But now you're married to them. Now you have children with them. Now you're in a long-term relationship. Now they're on your life insurance policy. You know, say all of that, because you didn't bother to check self before you got into a relationship. You didn't bother to consider the fact that adverse times will come and a person's true self is always exposed during adversity. Always. You learn who a person is in adverse times. That is when the representative is dismissed because they start to respond out of their feelings, but that's really who they are. That's who they are. Do not, people, allow yourself to get in or even stay in, if you are currently in these types of situations. Am I telling you to just go out and get a divorce? I'm not saying that. What I am saying is you need to take the opportunity to look at self outside of your representative, do a thorough examination of self outside of your representative. See if you like you outside of your representative. 9 times out of 10, if you can't stand your own ass, I guarantee the person you're with can't stand you either. Miss Lisa, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If you can't stand you, the person who you are with can't stand you neither. Okay? So that's what's going on right now during the quarantine time. You have a lot of people, a lot of couples who are they're at odds right now. They're beefing over little silly petty shit right now. They can't stand each other right now. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for a way out. When all in all, truth be told, they were doing that before. They were looking for a way out before. Like now is the time, the opportune time for them to just say it, to express it. I can't stand your monkey ass. Quarantine. Blame it on the quarantine. Nah, that's how you felt. What's going on, cousin? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. That's how you felt. That was a fact. Quarantine can be a blessing. I don't know what's going on here. But quarantine time can be a blessing if you utilize it properly. This is a great time to reflect, a great time to read. Read what you say. I love me. The business of marriage. Fuck your feelings. The truth about every relationship is a great and perfect read for times such as these. Okay? This will help you understand you in a relationship. Understand you, not just the relationship, but understand how you operate in a relationship, how you think and function in a relationship. It's called the business of marriage, the business of relationships. And that's one of the things that people fail to acknowledge is that every relationship, regardless to the type, even friendships, are a business. How you have structured your business determines the outcome, determines the flow of your business. Miss Carla, what you're saying? Yeah. Miss Carla says the average grown person, representative, should know lust from love. Indeed, when getting involved with the individual, they should, but most don't. Most have not sat with themselves, meditated, and learned what the definition of either of those words really means. They have not applied it in truth at all. Like we said, so like I say, love is not based on a feeling. It is based on an application of truth. So if you already are not being truthful with yourself, you're not going to go into a relationship being truthful. And no pun intended, honestly, you're not going to be looking for it because you don't know what it looks like. Your interpretation, your understanding of it is already flawed, is already based on fallacy. So it's kind of fucked from the beginning. Cecil says, whatever foundation you built that relationship on is now shown. Absolutely. Bam, you have said it, my brother. Whatever you started and built your relationship on in times like these, you are now seeing it. It has manifested. Has come to fruition. You can see it for real. You are living in the true times now. Everybody's seeing everybody for who and what they are. And sadly, a lot of people are not liking it. They're not liking who they're seeing or what they're seeing. And also, keep this in mind, like attracts like. Like energy attracts like energy. So if you are in a relationship, which you are, with someone, you're under the same roof with someone that you cannot stand, there's a reflection going on. There's a mirror that occurs, particularly if you are a married couple or a committed couple. There is a reflection that is happening. People tend to want to deflect, not look in the mirror, just make you look at it. But there is a reflection happening. So most of the time when you see something in an individual that you don't like, it's a great possibility that you do that thing or you are that being. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. G. Walker says a lot of people have a problem with the truth because they can't hide the real person behind that facade that they've been perpetrated. That's right. For example, before the beer virus, then JJ like to come. Let's see. Uh-oh. JJ's friend. Okay. Now, girl. Okay. You be doing the most. Okay, sorry. For example, before the beer virus, JJ liked to come home and play a game of pool with his buddies after work. And they left by the time his wife got home. Now, after the beer virus, JJ's friends come over earlier in the day and JJ's wife is at home. And JJ gets mad when she asks him what is he doing. FYI, JJ is also mad because once his wife Sheila learned what him and his friends were doing, then she came down and beat everybody playing pool, and JJ was really mad at that. He's so silly. But yeah, these times definitely will expose people for who they really are. And it's not just in intimate relationships. It can be siblings, it can be friends, it can be in business partners, associates, whatever. Times like these expose the real individual. And a lot of times they have no idea that they're exposing themselves. They think they're just going along their way, their day as normal, um, acting as they normally do. But the truth is showing itself. When the energy changes, truth is revealed, whether you acknowledge it or not. That's the truth. Pay attention to your energies. Pay attention to the energies that are around you. When it changes, truth is being revealed. And most people do not like the truth because the truth, again, holds one accountable. When you are accountable or held responsible, you cannot act like you don't know. Once you know, you can't act like you don't know. You can't unknow what you know. You can choose to act as if you don't, but the consequences are still going to apply based on the fact that you don't. I'm just saying. So again, a lot of times, or a lot of what's going on rather, with these relationships right now is they are being tested. They are coming to a point where people have to acknowledge self. They have to acknowledge fact. They have to meditate and make decisions that they may not like because they're most likely going to be uncomfortable. They have to come to grips with whether or not they're going to operate and deal with their feelings, if they're going to operate and deal and be concerned with the feelings of other people, opposed to being truthful, opposed to living in your own happiness. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter what the relationship is. I have to emphasize that it doesn't matter what the relationship is if you are not happy in it and you are staying in it for whatever reason. You are living a lie. You are lying to yourself. You are causing your vibrations to be dropped. You will then continue to attract the energy that you have dropped your energy down to. Like attracts like. No reason to live a lie. Now, I say don't concern yourself with another person's feelings. That don't mean you got to be rude and nasty. That just means you have to acknowledge and state and live in the truth. Period. Things are going to weigh themselves out. There's going to be a judgment and a balance on everything. Make sure that you are in your own truth all the time. All the time. I hate the fact that there are so many people right now who are stuck in relations, and I'm saying stuck in relationships that they're unhappy with. They're in relationships and have no idea how to get out of them, or they're in relationships and they're being threatened to stay in them, be it physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, whatever. There's some type of threat that causes them not to be able to be true to self because of the fear of responding in a way that will incite the feeling of somebody else and cause them to do something that could be damaging or that could be uneasy, uncomfortable for them. But it's happening. There are many families that will be destroyed during this time of quarantine because they are strictly emotional. They are not having conversations uh, to learn one another. They're not having conversations where they can actually build. They're not having conversations to discuss the type of relationship that they're actually in. They're not reading together. They're not understanding that they are both corporations, that they are businesses. You understand? They have to learn to now no longer operate as sole proprietors, but operate as a partnership. And as a partnership, you have to know everything about the partner. You have to make sure that both partners are worthy to even be in the partnership. You have to make sure that each partner is bringing uh, equity to the partnership. It has to be fair, a fair exchange. And a lot of times, that's not the case. That's not what's going on. You have one person who's bringing 80%, another person who's taking, or who's just bringing 20% and expecting 100% of the profit, whatever the case may be. And it's not fair. This is not going to work out that way. So I will implore you, again, while you are at home in quarantine, get the book. Get the book, The Business of Marriage. Fuck your feelings. The truth about every, and I mean every, relationship. Okay? Get your copy. You can get it directly through me, through Cash App, $1 Healer, or Venmo, Kimberly McCann one. $20, $22 if I mail it to you. But definitely get it. It has definitely helped some relationships survive, and it's given people some strength to remove themselves from toxic relationships. This is just the beginning. I'm already on part 2, which is ooh-wee. That's all I can say. Part 2 is ooh-wee. Okay? And I will also encourage you, again, at this time to make sure that you have subscribe to my channel, because when part 2 is released, it will be released to my subscribers first. There's a certain special kind of something going on with part 2. Okay, so definitely please make sure that you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. The icon is the queen with the sword. Make sure you do that. Judah Ali, what's going on, loved one? I appreciate you and thank you so much for being here. And again, for those of you who are just joining me, we are starting part 2. Part 1. I'm already ahead of time. We are part 1 of what I have titled The Quarantine Chronicles. We are having relationship conversations. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to share them. Or if you would like to call in, I think my phone is on, 770-906-5271. You are more than free to call and share your thoughts. But again, like I said, the quarantine, during this time, a lot of relationships are going to fail because the representatives that entered into these relationships are going to be kicked to the side. And the real people are going to be exposed. All those feelings, all that energy is going to come to a head. And people are not going to like who they have actually gotten into a relationship with. Again, the foundation, as was previously stated, the foundation of that relationship will now be exposed. Why you got into a relationship with this individual will now be exposed. You will know why you can't stand this individual. You will know why this individual cannot stand you. You will know. You will know. Some of you will stay anyway, even after the quarantine. I certainly hope not. But again, while you're in it, this is the time for you to acknowledge the representative that is going around pretending to be you. The representative that is wearing your clothes, eating your food, speaking words out of your face, okay? Claiming to be you. That is not you. The representative that is robbing you of your true happiness. The representative that is robbing you of your true spiritual life, your true spirit being. That thing needs to go, okay? It needs to go. Again, first chapter of the book is called I Am a Liar. Acknowledge the fact so you can correct it. It's not a blow to self. It is an acknowledgement of where we are falling short. When you know where you're falling short, you can figure out, you'll be given the tools or acknowledge the tools that are already there. You'll learn how to utilize them so that you don't have to keep falling short. You can start to build and rebuild and become stronger and maintain relationships. The best relationship outside of the one that you have with the Most High, that's to be the first and foremost. The next best relationship that you can have with yourself is with yourself. The relationship that you need to focus on after that with the Most High is the one with yourself. Stop lying to yourself about who you are, or who you think you are, or who you want to be, or who other people see you as. And that's another thing. People put on this facade for other people. They have a desire or need, a sick illness, to need to be accepted by other people or need to be viewed a certain way by other people. So they stay in this representative. They stay in the mask. They stay hoodied up, whatever. They stay behind the shield for most of their lives because they need the energy of the fake. They need the energy of the representative. A lot of people do that. I discourage you from doing that. Okay? Again, it's about being true to self, having an honest relationship with yourself, acknowledging the liar in yourself. During this time, if you are with somebody, if you are married, if you're a live-in situation, whatever situationships, whatever it is, this is a time to reflect, inner reflection, and have conversation with the person that you are with, that you are stuck with, because you ain't got nothing else to do. Learn the individual that you're with. You may find you don't like them. You may find they don't like you neither. So in acknowledging that, you've agreed that y'all don't like each other. That's a good thing because that's the truth. That is the truth. And now for real, the truth can set you free. I don't like you. What? I don't like you either. Let's peace out. I'm just saying. Keep it real. Get the book, The Business of Marriage. Fuck your feelings. The truth about every relationship. Zeke, you said, can't see those side pieces because now your significant other knows you're not going to work. They know you're not going to work. That part. That's hilarious. But that's fact. That is fact. Yeah. But you know what? Some people will still pack a lunch food. They'll still put those work clothes on, pack that lunch, all that, and go to work. Right. It's just the question remains, okay, well, you've been at work for 2 weeks and never a check came in here. So unless they're going to falsify that as well. I don't know. Anyway, if you all have any more questions, comments, or concerns, please share them. We have some minutes left. But like I said, I don't ever want to keep you all hostage. I'm not going to keep you here if what needed to be said has been said. I think so. I think it has been said. Again, a reminder before we do get out of here. Again, please, if you have not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, please do so. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. It is the icon queen with the sword. There are two pages with the same name. They're both mine, but only one is active. So make sure you go to the right one. When there's certain things that are going to happen on YouTube that will not happen on Facebook. One of them will be the release of part 2 of this here book, which is deep. I'm trying to told you. I'm telling you in advance. Only the subscribers will have first access to the book. You definitely, when I tell you, you definitely want to get that, you definitely want to get it. Because I went all in. This one right here, this is the intro. This is the intro. Okay, so if you have this book, please read it. Please read it. Read it. Study it for yourself. Use it as a tool to save your relationships or to gather the strength to get out of a toxic one. Use it. Please and thank you. All right, loved one. I'm not going to keep you all here. I think I've said everything that I needed to say and wanted to say. The main thing was to introduce the Quarantine Chronicles. We're doing relationship talk. We're going to talk about it for a couple weeks per se. I'm going to get a little bit deeper in some things as I see them coming. Again, the note was that many people are filing for divorce during this time. Relationships are breaking apart. And as an advocate, not just for the men, but for people and relationships, it is one of my goals to sell enough books, first of all, where I can have proceeds go to providing relationship counseling for those people who are financially unable to afford it, which is another reason why I keep encouraging you all to buy a physical copy, because I am using those proceeds for that. So keep that in mind, but it is also available on Amazon Kindle if you prefer the e-version. Mr. Estwick, thank you, beloved, for being here. I appreciate you for being here. And wait a minute. Who's coming in? I saw that person. I saw you. Show your face. I saw you. Okay, I saw you. So show your face. But again, I always appreciate you. I'll tell you that every time you're here. I appreciate you for being here every time I'm here. And I encourage you to stay tuned. It just gets better. I'm telling you, it gets better from here. It gets better and deeper. I am here to help you the best way that I can. I am a healer, and that comes in many forms, through massage therapy, through counseling, through advocacy, through this right here and beyond. Okay, if you need me, you know how to get me. I'm just saying, you know how to get me. I'm not going to keep you. Get your book. Get your book. Read it. Reading is fundamental. Apply it. There are tools in here. Apply it. Apply the information. This is your weapon. Okay? This is your weapon. The information is your weapon. Fight a good fight and then learn when you shouldn't even. Sometimes it's not even worth the fight. But you gotta have the strength to walk away. Okay? Having said that, loved ones, I'm gonna peace out. Leave you all to the rest of your evening. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have found this edifying. And make sure you are here Thursday for On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose with myself, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, Patricia M. Goins, Deshaun DJ Johnson, and Misty Jones. We go in. If you all missed last Thursday's episode because of technical difficulties we were having, it's still on Facebook. It's not on Blog Talk Radio, but it is on Facebook. On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose, blogtalkradio.com, or again, I will be here doing it live on Thursdays from 8 to 10 p.m. If you missed last week, pick it up on my page and watch it. It's a little lengthy, but it got deep. So make sure you do that. And most high's willing, I will see you good people Thursday. All right. I love you on purpose, with purpose.